Welcome back, folks. The Rheinmetall Skorpion Waffenträger was just released for the North American servers, and a lot of players are highly excited about this vehicle. They even got 2 days of free rental to try it before you buy it. And after playing with my rental version of this tank destroyer, it's one of the best premium vehicles that you could buy with your money. So it's way better than stuff like the kanonenjagpanzer or the Panther 88. So it's surprising because we haven't got a good premium tank out of a long time. And the high tier tank destroyer meta is mostly slow vehicles with good armor. So assault guns, whereas we don't have that much actual snipers like the charioteer. That's the only example I could think of. The Rheinmetall Borsig is a good sniper, but it's not as mobile. So you cannot think of a fast mobile tank destroyer like a Hellcat with a good gun. So this fits a niche for high tier tank destroyers, and I actually used this vehicle for the 1 versus 1 tournament on Saturday. So tier 8 TDs, and it's pretty good. Now, why is the Rheinmetall Skorpion Waffenträger that good? Well, I believe it's because the mobility and the fact that it could play like a medium tank. So in most corridor maps, the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger becomes somewhat useless because it's not as fast to go wolf packing and doesn't have the armor. And the camouflage rating is not as useful because buildings, so why would you want to hide? There's nowhere to hide and you just get flanked. So vehicles like the Rheinmetall Borsig in city maps, not as good. But with this vehicle, you have the traverse, you have the horsepower per ton ratio to play this thing like a medium tank. And you have the high alpha and the accuracy. So you can actually play this thing like a medium. And it's one of the best premium vehicles released for a long time. So I say it with confidence. And I highly recommend you to buy this vehicle before you buy something like the kanonenjagpanzer, because the kanonenjagpanzer doesn't have the alpha, doesn't have the penetration, and doesn't have the fully traversable turret. It does have the camouflage rating, but it's mostly useless on corridor maps like Hemmelsdorf. So, yep, this vehicle is way too good. It's borderline OP. It's like a Grill 15 at tier 8. I think it's slightly better than the Grill 15 just because the fully traversable turret. And that's pretty much why. But if the Grill 15 could have 128mm, it's debatable, alright? So, yeah, it's still pretty good premium. So here you can see I'm playing this vehicle like a medium tank, wolf packing with other Scorpions. So you cannot really do this with the Rheinmetall Borsig or any vehicle with a fixed mounted gun like the kanonenjagpanzer. So yeah, I love this thing. You should buy one. It's it's surprising that this is a premium tank because you make more credits and crew XP as a premium vehicle compared to stuff like the Rheinmetall Borsig. And you have the alpha and the penetration. The gun is exactly the same as the Rheinmetall Borsig with a few trade-off. It's not as fast to shoot, so less DPM, but it's more accurate. So 0.3 dispersion compared to the 0.33 on the Rheinmetall Borsig. And it's faster to aim, so you're trading DPM for better gun handling. I don't know, I think that's a fair trade. And this vehicle is a lot faster than the Rheinmetall Borsig, so at the cost of camouflage rating. But yeah, sometimes you don't need camouflage if you're playing in a city map. So in a closed map, it's a lot better. So yeah, it's one of the best premium vehicles that you could buy. So I liked it. I didn't even have gun rammer. I played this vehicle without the gun rammer, so I had the binoculars, the camouflage nets, and the toolbox because those could easily detach from the vehicle. You can dismount them, demount them for free. So I played it, loved it. I spent 10 gold just for the gun rammer. So I fit the gun rammer onto the rental and played it for the 1 versus 1 tournament using this vehicle because city maps, close quarters, fast mobility with a turret. I beat a T-28 prototype. I beat a few, I think AT-15. Yeah, I beat an AT-15 because you can traverse faster around their gun swings and hide behind them, shooting at them. So in city maps, if you can flank them, this is one of the best premium vehicles, best tank destroyers. And it fits a niche that's currently not really occupied at high tier tank destroyers. And what I'm saying is there are not that many highly mobile, sneaky, or highly mobile medium tank like tank destroyers at high tiers. So you can only think of something like the Charioteer, for example, but compare stuff like the T-28 prototype, that's slow, the T-28, slow ISU, no armor, fixed mounted gun, not that fast-ish. So those vehicles could not play like a medium tank. Whereas for this vehicle, you could play it like a medium and go wolf packing. So making your job or making more options for you to combat different enemies based on different fields or different maps. So different terrain obstacles, you can actually overcome them. So there's more variety to your gameplay than just sniping in the back. So it could do the sniping. It's actually pretty good at the sniping as well, but you could play it like a medium. So that's why it's so diverse and why this premium tank is a lot better than stuff like the kanonenjagpanzer. The kanonenjagpanzer is a one-trick pony. It can only snipe. So it cannot really brawl like a medium, doesn't have the traverse or the fully traversable turret to go brawling. So yeah, it's one of the best premium vehicles released for a long time. And why is there not that many vehicles like this for high tier tank destroyers? So for example, at tier 10, the only true sniper that you could think of is the Grill 15 or the Object 263 sometimes. The 263 has armor but doesn't have the fully traversable turret. The FE 4005 stage 2, that's monstrosity. That doesn't even count. So there's no good Hellcats of tier 10. Not that you could think of, right? With a fully traversable turret and the fully, mobility, like a medium. The Grill 15 comes close, but it still has a somewhat fixed mounted pseudo turret. So it doesn't really count. Highly disappointed about that, but I wish we had a Hellcat, like a Charioteer, at tier 10. So there are not that many options for, high tier vehicles with tank destroyer like capabilities. So once we get wheeled vehicles like the ERC, the Panther ERC, or the Centaurio, maybe, then the Centaurio's freaking modern day Sam. But you know what I mean. So getting highly mobile, medium tank like tank destroyers at high tiers, that will be exciting because the current meta is mostly gigantic assault guns, like the Jagdpanzer E100, the FE 4005, that's assault gun, doesn't have the camouflage rating or the mobility. The FE 215B 183 assault gun, yeah, gigantic derp. So not that many Hellcats of a tank destroyer at tier 10, but we can only hope. So yeah, for now, this is one of the best. I already said it like a billion times, but it is one of the best premium vehicles that you could buy. So compare it to the Panther 88, the STA 2, the Tiger 1 for the Japanese. Yeah, there's so many worse option than this vehicle. So I highly recommend it. And as you can see, it performs without the equipment just as well. So I'm sniping. It's pretty fast to aim. It's very accurate. It's like the Grill 15, but you have a faster reload. So, love it. And you make all the credits and XP in the world. So, what's not to like? The only problem a lot of players had about this vehicle is the camouflage looked pretty crap. So, you can modify it, no problem. But the other problem that you could not change is the crew layout. It's a radio operator without the loader. So a lot of the high tier German tank destroyers have radio operators with loader. So you cannot train your loaders with this vehicle. which is unfortunate compared to vehicles like the Jagdtiger 88 and the kanonenjagpanzer. Also the Dicker Max, I believe. But, yeah. I mean, if you don't care about the loader, if he already has, like, safe stowage or camouflage rating or camo skill or the Brothers in Arms, and if you don't care about the loader, you can actually just play this vehicle for the XP on the rest of the crew and the credits. So it doesn't really matter that much, but it's still worth it. So you can change the skin. I'll provide you with my modified Milky Man skin. So I'll put the link in the description below. But if you haven't noticed, I posted the Girl on Panther poster in the turret. You can change whatever you want about the skins. So highly love it. And I believe the Krupp-Steyr Waffenträger is coming out this year. So this vehicle, the Rheinmetall Skorpion Waffenträger, was released, or leaked info was leaked at the same time as the Krupp-Steyr Waffenträger. The Krupp-Steyr Waffenträger is basically a armorless Tiger 1 at tier 7. Has the long 88 with very good DPM, camouflage rating, but I don't think it has the mobility of this vehicle. So it has a fully traversable turret, but you have 2 buckets at the front, the metal buckets, and those limit your gun tracing of targets. So I'll go over the Krupp-Steyr Waffenträger when the time comes, but for now, enjoy this vehicle. So yeah, camping like a punk, but like all Waffenträgers, if you get hit, you'll get penetrated. That was a 76mm round from a T-29. It shot the front, took out the engine, so damaged the engine with just 1 hit. Didn't lose that much health, but yeah, that's the weakness of Waffenträgers. No health and easy module damage. Especially with the Waffenträger Panzer IV. If you get hit in the front, the engine has like very low module health. So you often get your engines knocked out with that vehicle. Yeah. But the price you pay for amazing mobility and amazing gun, so don't have the armor. Play it like a sniper. Go snipe. Yeah, it's what you do. So, yeah, I do recommend you get this vehicle first. It's pretty good if you want to train your German tank destroyer crew. The Jagdtiger 88 is also a pretty good choice, but that's more fitted to the original tank destroyer line, the Jagdpanzer E100s line, rather than the Waffenträger line, because you want to have repair skill for your crew rather than camouflage skill. So this is better suited for Waffenträger line. And you could get the Dicker Max. That's a good sneaky tank destroyer. You could get the E25, but they're not going to sell it for a long time. What else for German TDs? You have the Krupp-Steyr coming soon. You have the kanonenjagpanzer. You also have the Stuck 4, but the Stuck 4 is not really a premium tank, so that's out of the question. But there are a lot of premium German tank destroyers, like premium Russian heavy tanks. Not as much, but still quite a few. Also, surprising news, I think the Object 777 stage number 2 and the Kurvats-1 are postponed based on the recent news from leak infos. So we'll see what happens, but they are saying that the Kurvats-1 and the Object 777 stage 2 is postponed from being released indefinitely. So we'll see what happens, but it might be like this vehicle right here. We waited about a year and a half for this vehicle. The info about this tank was leaked last year around April. So who knows? I mean, some vehicles release in an instant, like the info about the AMX 30 like a year ago, but that vehicle was just released when the time came out. But for other vehicles, like this vehicle right here, takes a long time, so we'll see. But for now, those are my gameplays of the Rheinmetall Skorpion Waffenträger. So yeah, pretty good sniper, highly recommend. It's OP. It's borderline OP if it's open field maps, but you could do tank destroyers as medium tanks. So you could play this as a medium. But there you go, folks. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Shoot